Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a concept that's literally captured the imagination of thousands, the dream of off-grid living in the gorgeous state of New Mexico. We're going to break down exactly how you can turn that ultimate dream of total independence into a tangible, achievable reality.
So have you ever dreamed of truly unplugging? And I don't just mean switching your phone to airplane mode for a weekend. I'm talking about establishing a life with genuine independence, absolute privacy, and having those massive, wide-open landscapes right outside your front door. It's a pretty powerful thought, isn't it? Ditching that endless cycle of utility bills and those crowded subdivisions for good.
Just think about traditional neighborhoods for a second. You know the drill. High cost of living, super restrictive HOAs, constant traffic noise, and, let's be real, a distinct lack of privacy. Now, flip the script and picture remote New Mexico. We're talking vast, untouched land, unbelievable freedom. It's a complete paradigm shift in how you live and interact with the world around you. Now, one of the absolute biggest draws here, our first major pro, is unbeatable affordability. When you actually look at the real estate data, rural land in New Mexico is often significantly cheaper than similar acreage in neighboring states like Colorado or Arizona. I mean, this is a massive opportunity. You can scoop up large stretches of beautiful undeveloped land for literally a fraction of what you'd pay just across the state line.
And here's why that affordability is a total game changer. It's not just about spending less money overall. It's about reallocating your capital. Lower land prices mean you have way more of your budget left over for the actual fun stuff, the infrastructure that makes off-grid living possible. Saving on the land itself frees up your cash to invest in top-tier solar panels, solid water storage, or building that absolute dream cabin. It just gives you so much financial breathing room right from day one. 250. Now that is not just some random statistic. Many areas in New Mexico get well over 250 sunny days every single year. And if you know anything about the off-grid world, you know that sunshine is quite literally your most valuable currency.
Which leads us perfectly into pro number 2, massive solar energy potential. All that abundant, glorious sunshine means your solar setup is going to generate serious electricity pretty much all year round. When you pair that crazy level of solar exposure with modern battery storage, relying on the fragile traditional power grid, totally optional. You can easily run your lights, appliances, water pumps, and even your internet connection using nothing but the power of the sun.
Then there's the unmatched privacy and space. These remote parcels give you a level of separation from the neighbors that suburbia just cannot touch. Picture this, actual true quiet without the hum of the highway in the background. You finally have the physical space to plant that massive garden you've always wanted, raise some livestock, and just breathe, all without a strict neighborhood committee breathing down your neck. You are the undisputed master of your domain.
But hey, it isn't just about building a permanent homestead either. Rural New Mexico land is incredibly versatile. You've got everything from high desert mesas to alpine trails. Depending on exactly where you buy, you could have world-class recreation literally in your backyard. Hiking, seasonal hunting, wildlife photography, taking the ATVs out for a spin, or just kicking back for some of the clearest stargazing in the entire country. The land can be a full-time residence or just your ultimate weekend getaway. Totally up to you.
Now, there's also a super fascinating financial angle to all this, which brings us to pro number 3, long-term investment potential. Vacant land is famously low maintenance compared to developed property. And with remote work booming and more folks looking to live self-sufficiently, rural acreage out west is getting a ton of attention. While sure, there are never any guarantees, undeveloped land in a strong location can become a seriously valuable asset over time.
Section 1. Smart preparation and planning.
As amazing as all those benefits sound, true freedom takes a bit of elbow grease and practical planning. To make an off-grid property actually work, you've got to have realistic budgeting. Let's talk about infrastructure. In this context, infrastructure means the physical systems you need to replace traditional city utilities. Ditching your monthly utility bill is incredible, no doubt about it, but it does mean you have to plan and pay for your own systems up front.
So when you're crunching the numbers, you really need to break things down into 3 main buckets. First up, power. You're going to need solar panels, deep cycle batteries, and inverters. Next is water and waste. Think storage tanks, the potential cost of drilling a well, and putting in a septic system. Finally, heat and backup power. You'll definitely want to plan for propane storage and maybe a solid backup generator for those rare multi-day storms. Budgeting for this stuff is just as important as budgeting for the dirt itself.
Another massive piece of the planning puzzle is checking the local climate and weather. Because, listen, New Mexico is not just one giant, flat desert. The southern parts, yeah, definitely warmer.
But up in the northern elevations, you are going to see cold winters and heavy snow. Even the temperature swings between day and night can be pretty intense. You absolutely have to factor this in, because the weather directly dictates how well your solar works, how much insulation your water tanks need, and even what building materials you should use.
Which brings us to a super helpful checklist to make sure you're set up for success. Number 1, water is everything. Not every single parcel has easy access to groundwater, so you really need to research local well depths and even water hauling options in the area. Number 2, check out the roads. Will you need a 4-wheel drive? Can you actually get to the property in the snow? And number 3, if you're planning to work remotely, do not just assume you'll have 4 bars of cell service. Always verify your satellite or fixed wireless internet options before you sign anything.
Okay, so how do we actually put all this into practice? Here are 3 crucial steps to evaluate any parcel before buying. Step 1, always confirm legal access and check the exact boundaries using county records. Step 2, investigate your utility options and local zoning rules right out of the gate. And step 3, calculate the total project cost. Basically, add your estimated infrastructure budget to the land price to make sure the whole shebang actually fits your financial reality.
When you combine those unmatched perks, the space, the affordability, the crazy solar potential, with some careful research and smart budgeting, the off-grid dream really does become a reality. A well-chosen parcel in New Mexico is something that's going to provide you and your family with years of enjoyment, security, and just absolute independence. Now, taking that very first step to find the right property can definitely feel a bit daunting. And that is exactly where our source material for today comes in. Introducing LandLimited.com. They're the trusted partner that bridges the gap between this incredible dream we've been talking about and the practical reality of making a secure, simple, and super affordable land purchase. And here's a big reason why they stand out. 30. That's over 30 years of experience selling rural land. When you're out there trying to navigate zoning laws, figure out road access, and gauge if a plot is actually good for off-grid living, you want that deep, localized expertise in your corner. They basically take all the headache out of the equation and make buying affordable land remarkably simple. But what really changes the game is their policy. They are backed by a 3-day, full refund guarantee. Buying remote land shouldn't feel like a shot in the dark, right? This guarantee just builds so much safety and trust into the whole process. It makes locking in your ideal property virtually stress-free. So I'll leave you with this one question. What are you waiting for? The land is out there, the solar potential is just waiting to be tapped, and with LandLimited, the path to actually owning it is simpler and more affordable than it's ever been. Are you ready to trade the noise of the neighborhood for the absolute freedom of the New Mexico landscape? It's time to do your research, take action, and start building the life you've always envisioned. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and we will see you next time.